Uh, okay. Good afternoon, Arvind. Nice to have you back on the show. The previous show that you did with Raj was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Today we'll discuss a pretty obvious question. Pretty obvious topic. One of the things is impressive Indian fast bowlers who are getting to the top rank or in the fringes of national selection, who have been pretty impressive in this IPL. So without much ado, we'll get down and talk about that. Straight off the bat, whom do you think has been most impressive among the Indian bowlers that you have seen in this IPL edition?
Um, I think when we talk about bowlers, we have to uh, classify them as fast bowlers and
Spin.
spinners.
Okay.
Indians have generally provided very good spinners over so many years. Fast bowlers, yes, the last 3-4 years have been brilliant. So let's focus on fast bowlers first. Uh,
Oh, that
I
one.
think the uncapped. If I talk about the uncapped players who made a great announcement in this IPL, for me will be Kartik Tyagi. I think he made a debut. I think he made his debut against Mumbai Indians. The way
Yes,
he
he did.
bounced Quinton de Kock and was caught behind. I guess that was a statement made. Like I'm ready for international matches.
Yeah,
So
he is.
Kartik Tyagi has been
You're
really
right
impressive.
about.
Yes, he is.
You're right about Kartik Tyagi. He has been pretty impressive, but he had a very average outing in the last match. In the, when Jofra Archer was going so well at the other end, he leaked runs, and that was one of the reasons why Rajasthan Royals lost their last match. How do you see that? Um,
See, I think what we need to consider is yes, he's his learning curve is slowly started.
exactly.
He's 18, 19 now. His focus primarily is on pace and bounce. So probably he will have to improvise his skills here and there, and then approach the game accordingly. Uh, but what I feel is he's quite promising. A couple of instances. See, a few matches. Dhoni was talking about spark. I saw a spark in Kartik Tyagi, especially the way he
Exactly.
got Quinton de Kock out, especially the way he was bowling to Shane Watson, the way he trapped Shane Watson and set him up and got him out. So these are signs of good bowlers. These are definitely signs of good bowlers because uh, uh, it is not necessarily that you bolt six balls and get 2 wickets of that sort.
Yeah.
He leaked 2 boundaries, edged. Took the edge of Shane Watson. Still, he didn't give up. He kept a shot mid wicket and
He got it.
set
Definitely
Shane
got his
Watson for a
money.
trap. So
Yeah,
so
yeah,
he's a thinking bowler.
you're right.
He's a thinking bowler, I feel.
Much more. He is very good at T20. He has shown enough. Variations within his arsenal to be considered for longer formats too. That is also important. Of course, he is very impressive at T20. He has shown enough hints. He has dropped enough hints. I talk, but there are some other players who are very impressive, but whose skills are pretty much tailored towards T20. I'm specifically talking about Natarajan, who has been
Uh,
mighty impressive for SRH. And what is your take on him, Arvind?
Natarajan has been, I think, Natarajan's uniqueness is, especially considering Indian cricket, is that he's a left-arm fast bowler. Secondly, his ability to nail those Yorkers.
Exactly.
I was just going through a stat a couple of days back. I think he's the bowler who has bowled the maximum number of Yorkers in the season. When you have Rabada, the Bumrah, people of those league,
Nokia. Hmm.
Nokia, and we see that Natarajan has been is the bowler who has bowled maximum number of Yorkers. Yes, he has obviously league runs. But this game, the time in which he bowls is towards the death overs, and
Okay.
he's a death over specialist. That's what I
Okay.
see. He's just given one over in the first 10 overs, then
He
the later
comes
three
back at
overs
the
he's
back end.
bowls
He
during
comes at
the
the back end.
second.
You're right.
He's
But
been
one of the
really impressive. Yeah, he's been really impressive, especially with his Yorkers.
Yeah, one of the things, but I noticed because we all kind of know that Natarajan is going to come up with those Yakis. But last two matches, I kind of saw, though he has been very good, but the batsmen were prepared for those Yorkers.
Yeah.
So these batsmen are also going to come back at him. So the real challenge for somebody like Natarajan actually starts from here. It is all to do, all nice to do
Yes.
those impressive things at the start. But to come back when the batsmen are ready, That is very important, and that's where the real challenge begins. And the second, I mean, towards the business end of the tournament, batsman would be much more ready for him. So but he is a
Yes,
thing.
this was, yeah. So yes, I think like you rightly pointed out, Natarajan's weakness. I will not say it's a weakness, but we saw how batsmen were prepared, especially in the match where Rahul Tewatia and Rian Parag, they finished the match for Rajasthan
Rajasthan
against
Royals.
Sunrisers Hyderabad. So Warner had kept Natarajan towards the end, but Tewatia was ready. He knew where Natarajan was going to bowl.
Yeah.
He capitalized on that and hit it over the fine leg area for sixes. So I guess yes, like you rightly said, batsmen have slowly started understanding where he's going to bowl. So it is obviously up to Natarajan and his bowling mentor, bowling coach to enhance his skills and probably improvise his skills also. Yeah.
But from what I have seen him from a TNPL, in TNPL, he is one cricketer who thinks, who puts in the hard yards and comes up with his own variation. So he is very what should I say? He is a kind of a cerebral cricketer. Though he comes from a small town, he has the ability to think himself out of any situation. So in that sense, he offers a lot of hope.
Yes.
But how do you? I mean, let's move away from Natarajan. Let's talk about two fast bowlers who came into scheme of things in tandem, Mavi and Nagarkoti. They should have played the previous season together because unfortunately the injury took them away. But this season they have been together. How impressive or not impressive? Whatever. What is your take on them?
Shivam Mavi was very promising. I saw probably the first three matches which he played, and I felt him to be hit the deck kind of a bowler. Yeah. So he bowled this back of length deliveries quite well, which is very difficult for even for us even for a top order batsman to actually play those deliveries. So Shivan Mavi looked very promising, especially in those back of length deliveries. Batsmen try to hit. And the field placements were set accordingly for his style of bowling. But again, being a fast bowler, the one thing which disappointed was his fitness. He had those niggles here and there, probably because of which the other two games he started he started fading away. So I think as a fast bowler, fitness is very, very important. But with regards to his skill, he's been pretty good and pretty promising. I mean, Shivam Mavi is one bowler I saw in 2018 under 19. I mean, he was the same. What I'm feeling of Karthik Tyagi today, that day I was feeling about Shivam Mavi, and I guess finally we got a chance to watch him in this IPL.
And Nagarkoti?
Well, Nagarkoti has been pretty good with his slower deliveries. Honestly speaking, I found him to be an exceptional fielder. And his bowling, I don't know whether I think he's not bowled full quota of overs probably in most of the matches which he has played. So I'm not very sure about how his skills are. But from whatever I've seen, he's an average bowler, above average bowler. But his presence in the field, his fielding skills have been really exceptional. Bowling wise, bowling wise also, yes.
Yeah, for a T20 game, he brings in a lot of skills. It's not just bowling alone, fielding, and he's a far better batsman than Mavi.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
And he has the ability to be much more nippy than Mavi. So Nagarkoti is also a impressive. I mean, it's a kind of a prospect that you will certainly look at going forward.
Yeah, definitely. I think Nagarkoti is, like you said, he is a mix of all the skills together. Probably, maybe he might have to focus on one of them, batting, bowling specifically, where probably he can improve on certain areas and then come out with better bowling performances. But like you said, he's a good package, which is very much required in a T20 tournament.
Yeah, but let's talk somebody who's much more experienced, who's not exactly an uncapped player. Let's talk about Saini. Saini has been very impressive for RCB this season, isn't he? Navdeep Saini.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, definitely. And we saw some good signs in the previous season itself. Navdeep Saini, he was the only bowler who was along with Chahal in the last season who was doing well for RCB. At least the one who looked promising. This season he's been phenomenal. I think
Phenomenal.
when you have two senior bowlers like Dale Steyn and Umesh Yadav being rested, and you give the ball to Navdeep Saini saying you are going to be the lead bowler, I think he has really lived up to that expectation. A lanky paceman, very tall, can bounce, come up with those bounces really well. Again, he's also, like I said, he's also a hit the deck kind of bowler.
Kind of bowler.
Hit the right areas and tempt the batsman to go for edges and catches. So
Yeah,
he's that
that's
kind of a
right.
bowler. Plus, he's a bowler who has the ability to nail the Yorkers towards the death also. So he has everything in his back, and he's everything in his back. He's going forward, provided he take care of his fitness.
Yeah, that is impressive.
He's going to be one of the lead bowlers in.
Now these, I mean,
Yeah.
from
So
what I
one more
see-
thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. No. What I was saying is, I think he'll be very useful in the red ball format also. So in Test crickets also, I think he has the ability to set the batsman into a trap. He's that kind of a bowler which I've seen in a year's time when India goes abroad. We might see Navdeep Saini in White's suit.
That's true. I mean, I was kind of impressed with Tushar Deshpande with certain aspects, and so in certain aspects he has. I mean, as you said of some other Karthik, he also leaked runs in a few of the matches. I mean, how do you see Tushar Deshpande shaping up?
Tushar Deshpande, what I felt is he's a good capital. In the three matches, I guess 2 matches he bowled in that. I think the match against Rajasthan Royals, where he was bowling. He bowled the last over. He had 20 runs to defend. But in a T20 match, 20 runs
and he was a debutant in that match.
He was a debutant in that match. So he nailed those wide Yorkers quite well. And the commentators were continuously saying that he's a death over specialist. Even Shreyas Iyer before the toss, he was telling the Tushar Deshpande is a death over specialist, and he actually lived up to that expectation that match and the very next match. The third match, which he actually leaked runs, was specifically against Chris Gayle. So that is he was made to bowl, I guess, in the 6th or 7th over, and everyone has an off day. So I felt against Chris Gayle he had an off day. Luckily against Chris Gayle only he had an off day, but other than that, he can bowl those slow balls very well. He can nail the Yorkers very well. What impressed me of him was those wide Yorkers, without ensuring that the batsmen are not allowed to hit for boundaries with those wide Yorkers. So that is what impressed me of Tushar Deshpande.
Yeah, but that 26-run over was pretty crucial. That kind of set it up for Kings 11 Punjab. Yeah, that was very unfortunate. But that can happen, as you said, that can happen to any bowler. I think we have covered most of the fast bowlers in the fringes of Indian selection or who are promising. Can we talk about the slow bowlers, starting with perhaps somebody like Washington Sundar, who is already made a place for some Indian, especially in Indian T20 matches. But he is one bowler who has kind of stood out for RCB. So what do you think of him?
Washington Sundar, again, I think he's been brilliant. Washington Sundar has to bowl during the power play overs. If you see his record, he has been phenomenal. I mean, phenomenal is not even a word. He has been absolutely brilliant when he bowls during the power play, irrespective of whether it's a right-handed batsman or a left-handed batsman. So he's been really good in the power play. He uses height to his advantage. He has speed. He clocks nearly 100 kilometers per hour, which is it is on the higher side for a spinner. So that is the reason why he's usually made to bowl in the power play. And Washington Sundar, may not pick wickets early in the power play, but
But he stems
if
the
you're
flow
bowling,
of runs.
he stems the flow of runs, and that is very much required in the power play. It automatically puts pressure on the batsman, and once the field is spread after the power play, I guess that's what I mean. He sets the sets a platform for the other bowlers to ensure that after the power play, the batsmen go for hunts and eventually throw away their wicket. So he's been really impressive. I think his uses his
But
height
he has
to
one, yeah, he has one ability
the
to
most
hit
benefit.
he has the ability to hit those right lengths. He is an immaculate length bowler. So
Yes,
that is what makes him click in especially
he
the
is an immaculate link.
So that is very impressive. From Washington Sundar, I'll move on to another Tamil Nadu bowler, Varun Chakravarti, who obviously had a great day last night and
Yeah.
last evening. And he has been I don't know whether you
Yeah.
follow TNPL or not. He has been outstanding in TNPL. But once he made the debut for Kings 11 Punjab, something went wrong. So he also had a unfortunate
Yeah.
injury. So he kind of faded away. But this season he has managed to stay
Yes.
fit, and now he's come into his own. So what do you think of him?
Varun Chakravarti, I was just going through his stat. I think he bowls. I think he bowls during the middle overs. His economy is also pretty good. Not only he picks wickets, his economy is also pretty good. 7.09. That's what I can see his economy. 7.09, which is very pretty good. Yesterday he was phenomenal, and he picked I think number 3 to number 7 batsmen of Delhi Capitals, and
He just ran through their
I
innings.
feel him to be a mystery bowler.
I mean, that's
Ran
what.
through their innings. So
Yeah,
he's a mystery bowler.
yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I felt him to be a mystery bowler. Batsmen are actually finding it difficult to pick his length because his action is also quite fast.
Yeah.
Similar to, I mean, if I may say, I don't know, I can't compare him with Rashid Khan, but the Rashid Khan's ability to decipher Rashid Khan's wrong ones are a bit difficult. Similarly, I found it to be in the same case for Varun Chakravarti as well. So if you remember, I think the way he got Dhoni out showed the kind of
Exactly.
thinking bowler Varun Chakravarti. So
He got him out after
not only he's
conceding a
got the
boundary.
skills, he's definitely got the brains also. Exactly, after conceding a boundary. So I mean, so which means that he thinks what the batsman is going to do next and plans accordingly. So not only to his skills, I think he's a very good thinking bowler as well. Varun Chakravarti.
See, Varun Chakravarti is more in line with somebody like Sunil Narayan, where he uses his fingers as opposed to his wrist, but he has a lot of deceptive mystery deliveries that can go either way. For a finger spinner to
Correct.
do those things, it's pretty impressive. It is very different from
Yeah.
somebody like Ashwin, who is also his state mate. See,
Ashwin more of an off spinner.
he
Yeah.
is, but he also tries those things. Ravichandran Ashwin tries
Yes.
those things, but this guy he wouldn't be very good in the longer format because you get found out in those things. But in a T20 contest, he is pretty good, Varun Chakravarti. I mean, talking of Varun
Varun
Chakravarti,
yeah, he's tailor-made for T20 cricket. I absolutely agree with you on that.
yeah. I was slightly disappointed that Chennai Super Kings didn't go with Sai Kishore, who had terrific Mushtaq Ali tournament. He was the top wicket taker, if I remember right.
Wicket taker
Sai
for
Kishore
Tamil
would have
Nadu.
been, yeah,
Yes.
not just for Tamil Nadu. He was the highest wicket taker in the entire tournament, I think.
So, is it okay? Yeah, I know he the Syed Mushtaq Ali tournament. He was the highest wicket taker, and he. He looked like a very good prospect for Chennai Super Kings.
So unfortunately, since
So
Chennai,
I'm actually looking forward to Sai Kishore actually playing in the next 3 matches.
I mean, that's what I also want to believe, because going by what Dhoni said.
Let's see. Yeah.
And how about Ravi Bishnoi for Kings 11 Punjab?
I think good you saved Bishnoi towards the end, because for me for me personally, he has been the most impressive
Okay.
spinner, young spinner from India. Like we were talking about Nagarkoti, he's also pretty good, very good fielder. He's very vibrant on the field,
Vibrated.
and at
Exactly.
the same time, the ability. I think he has the ability to contain runs in the middle over. So Ravi Bishnoi, again, I've observed him. I noticed him the way he played in the under 19 tournament. He was leading wicket taker in that under 19 tournament, and um, being a leg spinner nowadays, they they come up with they also learn the googlies equally as much as
The
they
wrong
bowl the
ones are
traditional
as
leg spins
much part of their arsenal as their regular leg spinning delivery.
as a regular leg spin delivery. So he has he's slowly mastering the wrong ones as well. He is able to deceive the batsman and pick wickets also at regular intervals. So he's been really impressive. Ravi Krishna has been really impressive. Yesterday, honestly, he should have been, he's the one who actually uh, applied breaks
Yeah.
on Sunrisers Hyderabad. 4 overs, 13 runs, and he just picked one wicket. Maybe that was the reason why he was not given the man of the match. But
Okay.
defending for 126, if even Rashid Khan was conceded more runs than him. So Ravi Bishnoi yesterday applied breaks on the Sunrisers Hyderabad batsmen, especially when Manish Pandey was batting. So uh, he looks like he's ready for the next stage, but probably we might have to give him some more
Some more time.
opportunities to see how consistent he is.
I
Yeah.
was,
What is your take on Ravi Bishnoi?
obviously he's been impressive, but what I like about Kings 11 is they are ready to bowl Ravi Bishnoi in tandem with Murugan Ashwin, who is also a leg spinner, who is much more in a classical mode,
Lexman.
though he is much elder, much senior to him in terms of experience. But I like them both. Two different types of leg spinners bowling in tandem, which is pretty exciting because just as Ravi Bishnoi was impressive, that wicket of Barstow was very key, and that was taken by Ashwin. That was equally impressive. Though he leaked, he went for around
Yes,
27 runs or something, but that was his spell was also equally impressive. Murugan Ashwin. Murugan Ashwin is a slight as a
Murugan.
bowler. He tends to go under the radar because within Tamil Nadu itself we have another Ashwin. So in terms of name
Yeah,
confusion and another, but he is pretty good. He was first cited by CSK as a net bowler.
yeah,
Uh, Only after that he got the thing with Kings 11 Punjab, and he has been consistent. He's been very consistent, and he has as a leg spinner, he has a large heart. He doesn't mind going for runs. He throws it up and gets
mm,
it wicket, and he's a very smart bowler. He's a very smart cookie. All through this
mm,
tournament, he has had more. He didn't. It's very unfortunate he didn't get a sustained run in the team. If it had been the case, he would have been Ravi Bishnoi and him would have been a very good force for Kings 11 Punjab.
correct. I think better late than never. They have actually found a good the combination right, especially when it comes to the bowlers bowling in the middle overs. That is where they were lacking, and now with Murugan Ashwin and Ravi Bishnoi bowling in tandem, Kings 11 Punjab are able to apply breaks, contain runs of the opposition team, as well
Yeah.
as pick wickets at regular intervals. Yeah.
Finally, a word or two about Rahul Chahar.
Rahul Chahar, see now we've been talking continuously about the wrist spinners. I think we had Kumble, then probably I think last 3 years we've been seeing is Chahal and Kuldeep Yadav as the main main spinners for the Indian team. So Rahul Chahar. I mean, I think, has he played for India? I think he's played one or two
He was
T20s.
picked. He was picked for the squad. I don't know whether I don't often remember whether he played a match. He was picked for one of those series.
Uh,
He got. He got and
T20 series, yes.
yeah.
Yeah. So Rahul Chahar again, like we spoke about Bishnoi, he's he's been the leading spinner for Mumbai Indians the previous season as well as this season. I think in 2018, Mayank Markande
Yeah, yeah, he was.
Mayank Markande was the leading spinner for. And he kind of faded away and gave, I think, passed on the baton to Rahul Chahar, and Rahul Chahar has been consistent throughout the previous season and this season as well, where it. I mean, I think he's more of a. I have felt him to be a bowler very similar to Yuzvendra Chahal.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
where he's a traditional leg spinner, and he hits the length correctly. He also has the ability to hit the length correctly outside the off stump for right-handed batsmen. So the best example was a couple of days back when they played against CSK. He's okay to leak runs. He's okay to ensure that the batsman can let the batsman hit a 6, let the batsman hit a 4, but he knows what ball to ball next. So
Exactly.
again,
That's what
that
happened
shows
to
that what
Dhoni.
kind of Dhoni. So that shows that you do not only have skills while bowling, you also have brains how to implement it. So
Exactly.
those are real good signs of a bowler, when you have knowing that, okay, next ball I am sure I'll bowl this. I don't mind bowling a straight one to the batsman. Even if I go for runs, I know what to bowl the next ball and
Exactly.
set a trap for him. So Rahul Chahar, Dhoni was just one of the examples. He's done that pretty multiple times against the other teams as well, and I've been quite impressed, especially with the way he thinks. I mean, of course, the thinking comes with experience, and he's done quite well for Mumbai Indians over the last 2 seasons.
Okay, with the Mumbai Indians, I think we can wind up the show. That was interesting stat, and it was quite. I mean, what to say? Quite interesting to pick your brains on the young Indian spin and fast bowlers. And thanks a lot for your insight. And we'll come back to you again for another of those typical episodes that Bits and Banter kind of specializes in. Thanks a lot, Arvind.
Sure. Sure. Thanks a lot, sir. And it was nice having a chat with you on this.
Thank you.
Absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.